Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Lucy. And this movie came out in 2014, and it stars Scarlett Johansson, Morgan Freeman, and it's directed by Luc Besson. And I saw this movie once when it came out in theaters. I was like, that was alright. And revisiting the film, it does not hold up at all. I thought it was very bad. I didn't really like the characters. They're completely underdeveloped and there's like nothing to them. To some extent, that is kind of the point, but at the same time, it doesn't really help out the film either, because the film is basically exploring what it means to have your brain be operating at 100%, because it's just a concept that the movie wanted to explore, and they kind of did that, except they wanted to do their own thing, which I'm not really sure what that is, because this movie has a few different things. It's like a crime thriller at the beginning, and then it kind of turns into a superhero movie almost. Like with Scarlett Johansson gaining her powers and like unlocking more of her brain just because of this drug that was newly discovered. And then it kind of wants to be an action movie and maybe a science fiction movie, and it's like all these different things, and it gives you a little bit of each, but not enough for you to be satisfied with any of it. Like, the sci-fi is like barely developed and is pretty stupid. The action sucks because there's no stakes and everyone's just invincible. Like, our main character, like, she can get shot, but she won't feel pain, and it's really difficult to get inside her head, no pun intended when I say this, in a movie about unlocking 100% of your brain. And she can basically just do anything, like change her hair color or use the force. And it doesn't make any sense, and it's just really inconsistent with what they establish, and it's really boring to watch. And Scarlett Johansson was surprisingly bad in this movie. Like, throughout the entire film, I just did not believe her character, and I know that her character is supposed to be emotionless the entire film, but even early on when she's not supposed to be doing that, she's supposed to be like kind of scared, and I don't believe it for a second. And I believe that her crying works because I do think she is good at crying. That was one thing that helped out the performance, but that was it. Like, I did not believe her character. She was like kind of trying, but she didn't really have much to work with, so I'm not really going to blame her for that. Morgan Freeman was okay. I thought he was the best part of the movie for me. Like, he has a good screen presence, and that's pretty much all I got out of the movie. Just good screen presence from Morgan Freeman. He's not in the movie a lot, but when he's on screen, it helps my experience. And this movie is horribly paced. It's an hour and a half, and everything just feels so stretched out, even from the first 5 minutes. Like, it feels like it's taking forever for the plot to get going. And the music in the movie is terrible. Like, it's just using these, like, it's just like this rumbling noises, and it's so distracting and drains out all of the tension in every scene that it's used in. And it's very desperately at points trying to be cool. Like, isn't this cool? And it's just irritating to watch. There's way too many scenes where the film is just showing off, and I just hate it so much. And there's so many plot holes in this movie. Nothing makes any sense. The characters are awful, like I've said already, and the editing in this movie is also terrible for two reasons. A, too many cuts, especially during some of the action scenes. So, like, or not even just that, there's a scene where Scarlett Johansson is eating, and there's just like a cut every 2 seconds, and it kind of just feels like a trailer almost. And I'm not really sure what they were going for in that scene. Throughout the entire movie, the film is just constantly cutting to like stock footage of just nature, and it's just spelling out everything for you as to like what's going to happen. Like, Scarlett Johansson's being like forced into a trap, and that's kind of what's being implied. But in case you didn't know that, they cut to a mouse, calling up to a mouse trap. And it's so funny. Like, I was laughing quite a bit at the movie. And there were scenes in this movie where I was losing my mind because what I was being shown was just so stupid and ridiculous. And I was just like... And it was either me making a face like that or just being bored by what was going on. And good thing I took notes while watching this movie, otherwise I would have completely forgotten about it, because it's a very forgettable film. Because nothing happens, really. There's no consequences, and nothing makes any sense, like I've said already. The villain is terrible. I hate the villain of the movie. And everything in this movie that is trying to be cool, or, like, scary, or invoke, like, certain emotions, it just comes across as goofy. And it just doesn't know how to properly present these things that it's showing. Like, a few examples for me is when the main villain of the movie has, like, killed someone, and he has, like, a bunch of blood on his hands, and of course he's washing his hands. But here's the thing, though. You would expect that he would be washing his hands in the sink in the bathroom. Like, of course, that makes sense because they're in an apartment or a hotel. I forget what. And that's what, normal people would do. Or at least that's what I think they would do. But who knows? Maybe I might be wrong. Maybe this is what normal people do. Because instead of washing his hands in the sink, he has one of his henchmen have, like, a bottle of water and just pours it on his hands as he was washing his hands. And not even in the restroom, just washing his hands, like, in any other room with carpet. And I was like, what are you doing? It's so goofy. Like, is this supposed to be intimidating? Is this supposed to be scary? Like, what am I supposed to feel here? Or another example, in that same scene, Scarlett Johansson is supposed to open up a case in case there's a bomb in there, or something that's not expected to be in the case, and she opens it up, and everything seems to be in order from her perspective, and she just describes what's in there, because she doesn't actually know what's in there. And once she describes what is to be heard to these characters, then the main villain just walks up and is like, like everything is how it should be. And instead of just asking one of his henchmen to go look for him just to make sure that it's not a bomb, like there's no bomb like hidden anywhere inside the case, like, isn't that something you would want to do? Maybe. And the last notable thing for me, which just made me so mad with this movie, is that it's trying to be smart, but it's very clearly just a dumb movie, and it's just very pretentious in many ways and doesn't work. And I wrote down the last line of the film, and it's just a perfect example of what this movie just got wrong. Life was given to us 1 billion years ago. Now you know what to do with it. What? What does that mean? It feels so out of place. It doesn't feel like it fits with the rest of the movie, like tonally, or like anything that it's explored throughout the entire film. Like, this is what the entire film has been building to. Just that one line. If it was just like any other line in the film, like, I might be a bit more okay with it, or I could just laugh at it, but that's the last line of the movie. Very, very stupid, whatever that means. And that's the whole movie. It's stupid, doesn't know what it is, has no self-awareness to it whatsoever. Very goofy. I did enjoy it somewhat ironically, so at least I got that. But if you're not looking for ironic enjoyment, then this is going to be a chore to sit through for you. Because despite it being very short, hour and a half, it feels like the entire film was a big waste of time, and I will never be watching this movie again. Despite my enjoyment. I don't think I need to come back to this movie ever again. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Lucy a 2 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Lucy, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up. And this is going to be a film that I saw parts of before, but never the full thing because I kind of just gave up. And it just wasn't really a movie for me at the time. And that was like 5 years ago, maybe a bit longer, and I think since it's on Netflix now, it would be as good a time as any to revisit it. And that movie is She's the Man, so look forward to that. But until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.